Most welcome to Unified Fields and the upgrades in our eye brains, right? So today is, how do you want to live? Do you want to live in fear? Do you want to live in truth or in love? The ley line between love and fear is very, very large. So here today I would encourage everybody, to plant new seeds into your garden. Get a new team into your garden. Get them to flourish, blossom you, yourself. This new season is all about you, yourself, getting, that higher health vibration in, and don't give a fuck about anyone. Place yourself forward in the first row of your cinematic view, so to speak. Planting new seasons is also, I've talked about, like, okay, we've seen the closures and it will never stop until you close off the past. And what is coming through are these new seeds, the new you that needs to come to the forefront. And many are still afraid to get into what they really want, and still having excuses to get the weed out of your garden and look at that garden from a universal perspective. The same goes when you open up your sun stream and move with the solar system into other solar systems. That is what the rising into light Earth is all about, because the planet Earth is very important, not only to these universes and other galaxies, but even into the beyond, and how all these suns over there come together. And it's up to us to figure out, at least get our purified beam candle of light all the way up, universally speaking, when moved through the old solar system, and when you have repaired your sun construction, the twin suns and the twin moon, by all moon vibrations actually, that gives you the thrill to move into light body parts. So there's a lot to learn, because there is a lot more species out there that do not have to move to the cycle of carbon, which we are doing, right? We're moving from carbon into crystalline consciousness. And so the brain, all these faculties in the brain are very, very important. I encourage you also to look at that longer video about eye brains and what happened to our brain, which is very interesting to watch and may wake you up on a larger level. So everything that is working out in the brain is the release of anything termed ego consciousness and moving full-time into spirit. And that is when you will feel vibrating inside out. You will feel alive, and also start really remembering other lifetimes. And a good way also to do is, I've seen for myself this week a lot of childhood stuff coming up. I said, oh my God, I remember like when growing up 8-9 years, all I wanted was turquoise gemstones, from all countries, all different consciousness. That was my passion, and I would quickly change my vibration, although I was not aware of that at the time being. And also, the consciousness within amber. I have this amber egg, but it's so very potent. It's a very funny and happy energy, although it has very high level healing capabilities that move very fast through the body. It's an element. It's that kept its origin intact. And so, when talking about the elements and reconstructing our body into crystallite consciousness, that starts off with every gland we have in our brain, because everything we think, everything that is being generated when the old cycles move out, then you can start generating your remembrance, and you can feel that on a very, very high level. And it's, the working mechanisms with all 12 universes and moving into the ascent, and how that brings through new information every day, on an individual level, and group consciousness is going to be more and more and more important. So here I encourage you all to really stand your ground on every level. Don't let anybody talk over you. It's about you in the coming weeks. It's only about you. You take your power back. You stand where you want to be. You choose how your life looks like, and so you are going to radiate life inside out, versus the old dual cords, so to speak, that drag you down into captivity. It's your choice to either choose captivity or freedom, and work your vibration up into these lanes. So I have a feeling I'll talk a bit more about my own experiences, because that excites people a lot more. So I think a few days ago, when going into the hood, I talk a lot to people, and so a few people came up to me and they say, Nick, people do not always appreciate how you get along, because you kind of checkmate them with such a high level of truth. They don't want it. And so I could even stand my power, my flames a lot stronger. So I looked straight in these eyes and I said, you know what, I don't really need those people. I'm only here to wake them up. That's all there is. Those who love me, those who like me will be with me. And there's millions, billions, myriads of people out there, so why would I care about a bunch of people who still do not want truth? Because every time my vibration is out there, that's all you will get. And so I also encourage them to open up to that vibration that I am, and when explaining it, why it is a necessity, and why it rather helps them instead of cutting them down. You cannot have that consciousness when going along with people and engaging with them. It is the explanation that brings them or makes them come back to you, or not at all. If people want to remain in the sinking ship of duality, that is just that. Most of the time, or like maybe not 100% already, though I work my vibration up there, I can't even understand duality anymore. And so you lose more and more and more weight until your body gets into more and more strength, higher and higher mentality, higher and higher vitality, because that is what it is about. And you start to see in your devotional times the designs that you need. People do not understand designs when you're aligned to frequency, to your source, your spirit self, especially the spark within, and how the spark moves into different levels in your brain, your body, and you start to configure with this universe in your life. Then you start to understand that focusing on a design that you get can change your entire life. So I encourage you also to really connect with teams of light. Look at your birth chart. Look in what kind of consciousness you were born, what kind of space on the planet, what country, what was your environment, how were you raised, and stuff like that is going to matter a lot when giving the attention to self. It's not about being egotistic or egoistic. Ego needs to leave, but pulling yourself forward and telling yourself like you are the most important person right now. It's about you. It's about getting into your strength and your self-worth. Anything less, anything that cuts your self-worth into the lower lane, so to speak, of mud, is going to cut your vibration. So it's a time you can have a lot of fun, especially with those moon vibrations, and connecting to all moon frequencies may raise the body a lot faster, and not digging into the old solar system anymore, but really getting into new galaxies, reconnecting with species we somehow always remember. And that, you know, these dialogues, conversations, information you may get is the most important thing in this time. And you can do very small things, big things, it doesn't matter, as long as you work along, let's say, getting out of the carbon cycle and moving into the crystal light circle. You know, I've been thinking about species getting out of a nitrogen cycle, getting out. There were so many cycles, and people have a hard time to understand just self. And you know, many times it just means you do not respect self. If anything cuts you down, or fear is actually the highest level of disrespect to your source, because you show your source you do not trust your source, you do not have faith, and you do not accept what is going on. So getting out of that triangular equation and moving into a triple flame configuration, in which the purity of the white universe is coming to the forefront. That is the purity that has been held back from us for many, many, many lifetimes. And now is the time to ascend through it and understand all 12 faculties within that, along the musical notes it takes to get into that white ray vibration. And you know, first and foremost, it is getting the healing capabilities into the onto the higher grounds and working with the elements. So that is what I have for you here: clearing the intestinal tract, clearing, you know, everything solar in your body, and the creator self in your sacral center, in order to be able to open up that vibration beyond the broken veins, so to speak, because we're all moving in a lot of water energy, water and earth. I'm very happy about that. I love that. But don't forget to understand how to move that fire through with these vibrations, and into the beyond. Working with a lot of metals this time around will assist a lot in not letting your vibration being cut down, because elements strengthen your body, You know, think about titanium, zinc, copper, calcium. Um, these are strong, very strong elements. We have the capacity, at least when moving with the elements into a 6-7 dimensional vibration, to breathe them through. It feels like hot stuff iron in the body. And most importantly, it is about connecting these elements with your initial element or a few elements you have been born with. So here I upgrade like every day. I can hardly keep up with myself because I told the universe I want it. I want to move into the beyond. I want to know about spiritual science, physics, the astronomers, how they work together. So we need to move into the beyond, at least have your vibration moving wild. Sometimes when I stand still like that, my body goes like whoopa, and that is the vibration or you know, the transition into light ports and all that technology. So also for those moving for the first time into a light body setup and getting the foundation, everything starts up from a foundation which is a crystalline grid. Its technology needs the exactitudes. It's not about just putting some crystals on and creating a grid. Without a foundational grid, it will not, you know, it will float. It will never be solid, and that is so important to understand. From there on, you can build any grid into the beyond and move into your light ports, which is a high level health, vibration, information, data, remembrance, name it. You can do it. It's up to you to blossom and get your heart from the wings of fire or the house of light in the brain into the wings of power, which is the heart. So the choice is moving from fear into a hardcore love, and understand what love is about. That will take a few more years to understand, and that has nothing to do with the so-called love people think about, or you know, it's a lot deeper. Because imagine a high-level deity standing in front of you. You will have tears, you know, like non-stop tears. That is that high vibration that does that, and that is the vibration we need to move into right now. So imagine that it's unstoppable frequencies. So you attract people. Some are still struggling, you know, pulling things into manifestation, being the creator self, and start manifesting. Reason why social media is putting out so many kind of seminars, but never getting to the point. Like, if you have these stuck patterns in your flow vibration, how are you going to manifest what needs to, you know, take on a solid manifestation with all teams of light? You need to configure that space. And when you've done that, there's no more hassle. We're done with that, and you move straight ahead. So here also, I move a lot quicker with the individual sessions into 2 or 3 hours. Get your right in your foundation and get the old parlor out and get your communication system with the divine and the elements right in, because it is so important to get your vox out and get the purity of that vox into a self-realized mastery voice that can speak any tone. So here you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe do not understand everything, but remember, understanding comes from experience. Experience comes from integrating light consciousness, light techniques, starting off from a foundation and working with all 12 universe. Wish you a very good weekend. You know, I can only blow my love out, and shoot your questions if you have. So communication is important. So thank you so much for supporting my channel, for being here, watching, and assisting the gathering or the community building in the first place. Okay, talk soon. Bye bye.